Anyway, getting into our game now. Spawning in the top left in orange, 4 Guns and Roaches could secure this victory. This is our Zerg player, OmegaLSA. And his opponent in the bottom right in pink for CT6. He's the one to keep their hopes alive. It is our Terran player, Shinobu. Alright, so we've seen pretty much only macro games out of ZVT. Beyond Vespasian's attempted whatever that was. We've seen this a lot of... We've actually seen CC first, I think, in at least 2 games. Turning into some interesting games. So let's see what happens on this map. This is a very old map. It's just a very interesting, wide open map. It's difficult to get out with your army and engage with all of this open space to deal with and try not to get surrounded by a Zerg army with your Terran army, especially if you're playing Bio. So see what Shinobu decides to do to deal with this kind of a situation. Once again, early game ZVT. Kind of always the same, waiting for that first barracks, which is coming down now, and then waiting for the first gas to come down, which is not going to be necessarily now. Yes, it is going to be now. So we'll be seeing Reapers early for Shinobu, which is nice. Probably a hatch first here out of our Zerg player. No, never mind. He's going to go for a pool first instead. And also gas. So these early Reapers, not going to have a good time, to say the least. They're going to have to hightail it out of there as soon as they see the fact there is actually gas on the way. Drone being nice and annoying here to this SCV. SCV should be able to get away and survive. Another SCV comes to its rescue. We'll be able to take care of that, no problem. This drone is going to want to get out of here. There you go. Goodbye, drone. But a nice bit of annoyance. Forces an SCV off the line. Damages another one. Just for a little bit of damage on your drone, but that drone will eventually regenerate its health. So first Reaper is on the way here. Pool is going to be finishing up. Still no hatchery. As I say, the hatchery is coming up. That's not where I wanted to click. Hatchery will be coming down here in a moment. There we go. Natural hatchery coming down for Omega. And he's already up to 50 gas. So his speed is pretty soonly going to be started. Soonly? That's not a word. It's going to be started pretty soon. And Omega's going to be able to take map control pretty easily. And if he goes for that really quick speed and then tries to get a little aggressive with it, this low ground CC could come under a whole lot of fire. Speed is indeed on the way. The first queen is on the way as well. So we'll have to see if Omega decides to go for some sort of early aggressive play, trying to deal some damage to the opponents actually putting that CC down on the low ground. Reaper is going to get in and see the natural is down. It's a really, well, it's a really low health natural, especially at this point of the game. You gotta expect there's gotta be gas here in the base, even if you don't get in and see it. And yeah, it has been taken off of now, but you can click on that and see exactly 100 gas has been taken. Spawning pool is jiggling away, so it's going to be getting speed quickly. And actually, a nice denial there by Omega. Shinobu doesn't actually see the gas down. He saw the queen, he saw the lings, yes. So that's nice, but he doesn't know that speed is actually on the way, unless he's not going to be able to prepare for it necessarily. Factory is coming down. Rector on this barracks as well. And Queen just still being annoying, or not being annoying. Reapers are being annoying to the Queen, but the Queen is being annoying about keeping scouting away. Shinobu did actually see the gas was there, so he probably clicked on that and saw the 100 gas was created. It's a good amount of lings out already. We have 8 lings finished, another 12 on the way. Well, this could get in and surprise Shinobu, this early ling attack, but there's a wall already. This can be repaired indefinitely with only lings. Factories on the way, so Hellions will be able to spawn on the other side of this wall, no less. So, yeah, Shinobu's going to be nice and safe from this, really. Tubers have been retained as well. So, he's going to be able to spot this very, very quickly. Speed is finished. And do those Reapers see the speed? Yes, they do see the speed. They see a ton of lings. And now Shinobu should probably be able to actually somehow find a way to prepare against this. That is a whole lot of lings, especially this early on. There's really nothing down here to actually help out this bunker. There is a couple of Hellions, but that amount of Hellions is not going to be able to deal with this amount of lings. The first Marine will be spawning here in a second, but this bunker is going to go down. No problem. CC may need to lift. At the least, Shinobu's going to need to wait for a few more Hellions before he decides to go down and try to go into these 16 Zerglings that are in his natural net base. Retreats with the Hellions behind the wall, actually, which is really nicely done. Make sure he's not going to take any unnecessary damage here. 4 Hellions out, a 5th and 6th on the way as well. These Lings probably need to get out of dodge, make sure they don't get surrounded by Hellions. Kind of turn the tables there by getting surrounded by a unit. As soon as these 5th and 6th Hellions do finish up, I mentioned Shinobu will push out and retake his natural. There is still, it's still 16 Lings. You don't want to go fight that with not enough units, but that's plenty of Hellions right now. It does need to wait for all of them, though. I don't know, you could try to be trapping the opponent in here. Lings should try to get a surround on these Hellions, but these Hellions are just kind of retreat and micro for days against this. A couple Lings come off to force the Hellions to stay back for a little bit longer. But no, not going to be the case. An early macro hatchery on the way here for Omega. He's actually going to be able to... This is actually walling off pretty nicely here. He's able to put a queen here, here, and here, and wall that off from those Hellions. And actually building a spine crawler as well, realizing that he doesn't really have too much to defend against a bunch of Hellions if there were going to be a bunch of Hellions. But it seems Shinobu has stopped at this amount, at least for the time being. He's got 8 already. He could continue that Hellion production if he wanted to, which wouldn't be necessarily a bad idea. There's nothing but Lings on the map right now. At the very least, the Hellions will be able to force the Zerg to build something that will be able to fend them off by building a bunch of roaches and using those larvae for not drones, which is always a nice victory for the Terran player if you can get that done. 6 Hellions are going to be coming up here, seeing this macro hatchery here in a second. There is the spine crawler, which is nice. There are the 2 queens here as well. Actually, I think this hatchery may have completely walled this off. I'm not necessarily sure. One Hellion takes a shot from the spine crawler. So sad, Hellion. Does scan forward, sees what's going on. It can kill us pretty easily. I'm not sure why it necessarily didn't. There are transfuses available for both these queens. There's still just not many Lings out. They probably could have killed off those queens, but no problem. He's gonna go back home, continue macroing up. He has seen the Roach Warren. He saw if there was no lair earlier. Lair is on the way currently. 1-1 is on the way also for his roaches and eventually Hydralisk once that lair does finish up. So we're going to see a game similar to the game we saw in Heavy Rain. A bunch of Roach Hydra against whatever the Terran player decides to put it. This is going to be Bio in this game. First medevacs are already on the field here for Shinobu, which was a better situation than Gulihim was in for a while in his game at least. A few more barracks are finishing up with their add-ons. Going to be adding on a whole lot more of Bioforce here. Double engineering bay down as well. Only +1 has started, no +2 just yet. That gas count is still pretty low. Well, he was forced to think about his own defense for a little bit longer than he may have wanted to. So it took him a little bit longer to take these gases the way he wanted to. So +1 for the armor is not just yet on the way. 2 more racks going to be being put down here by Shinobu. Going to start ramping up that production like mad. That's a lot of barracks to have for just 1 or 2 bases, excuse me. And that many barracks with only 2 bases, yeah, that can get really, really scary for the Zerg player if he tries to attack into it or attack too early or be taking too much of an economic risk. As it stands, however, Omega has not taken a 3rd base just yet. It doesn't look like he's going to be taking a 3rd base for a while. A few more roaches are going to be joining what he already has out on the field. +1/+1 has finished up for him. I mean, he's got 22 roaches right now with 12 Lings. It's not necessarily a ton. The bio does have stem already. You're going to have combat shield here in a second. Actually, I think combat shield just finished up. +1 is going to be, that's about 45% away from being finished. +1 armor is going to be on the way as well. 3rd command center is going to be coming down. There's 1 tank on the way. There is 1 tank finished already. And it's still a decent amount of bile already, especially without any sort of way to pick off these medevacs. No Hydralisk on the field, just a bunch of roaches, and still roaches don't shoot up. Looks like some roaches moving out across the map, just looking for hidden bases or just trying to set up some sort of a flank, so we can try to surround an army that's out on the middle of the field. Since it's a bit of a force to have out in the middle of nowhere, especially at this point in the game. But Omega looks like he's going to get a little aggressive here, try to go for this 3rd base. There isn't a ton set up necessarily at this base, but kind of the same situation we saw earlier on Heavy Rain again. Our Terran player playing ahead, going to be defensive as possible, adding in bunkers at this 3rd. Has some tank support as well. Gonna be nice and safe. Got a good amount of bio. They have a good amount of upgrades, but these Roaches are pushing in. These bunkers are not going to finish up. One tank is down here and actually in range to shoot this. That is a lot of Roaches. They do have 1-1, which is great. Now they are in range of 2 tanks. A lot more bio is moving in on top of this as well. So these Roaches are going to have to get the heck out of here. Eventually, or he's just going to lose all of these Roaches, no problem. There's 19 more Roaches on the way, so that's where the army supply right now is for our Zerg player. He is at 61 army supply, but most of that is actually in the Remax. It's not actually across the field compared to the 69 that our Terran player has, not to mention the fact that he has +1/+1. He's got the combat shield, he's got the stim as well. He's got a good amount of medevacs even. He can start doing some dropping if he wanted to, but he doesn't necessarily even need to. He kind of needs to defend against these kind of run-bys that the player is doing, but the run-bys are actually coming in the form of Roaches rather than actually being Lings or anything. The Roaches do sneak by, which is really kind of great for them. There's nothing actually here to defend this. It's going to force the Terran army back, and actually this needs to be lifted up because that's going to start burning here really, really quickly. Getting some SCV kills, which is nice. But still a worker lead for our Terran player. 49 workers to 41. And of course the triple mules, always a good thing. This bio army is absolutely frightening right now. It's got to be frightening here for Omega. He's got some Banelings morphing in now, but they don't have any upgrades. Not any upgrades for a while. Baneling speed isn't finished as well. He does have Ling speed, that's nice. He's got a little bit of creep. But how in the world is he going to fend off this amount of bio with the upgrades that they have? Especially if he's going to run directly into this bio. Hellion does spot that force there. Tank's going to siege up in a nice spot. But still, I think just with the bio alone, Shinobu's going to be able to deal with this pretty well. Omega trying to set up as best as he possibly can, but that is so much bio. He's going to roll in here and try to take out what he can. 2 tanks on the right flank here. All the bio on the left. Dealing with the Banelings, splitting very nicely. I think only maybe 3 or 4 Banelings actually connected with anything at all. All this bio is retained, and Shinobu is just rallying a pink trail of death across the map. Gonna take out the third base. Actually gonna take a lot of damage from some Banelings there. But at this point in the game, it doesn't matter too much. 123 supply to 66 now in favor of Shinobu. Gonna keep CT6 alive at least for now. He's gonna force this A set to mean something, which is always nice in these kind of series. Shinobu is now into the natural. He's killed third base, and there we go. GG from Omega. We're going to have 4-3 here in favor of GnR. Take a short